fact, he often goes without lunch.
I don't understand not liking
he
lunch.
likes,
What's
he
that all
likes to
about?
go from breakfast through to tea. And he thinks lunch just gets in the way of stuff. Since his medical diagnosis, Queen Camilla has persuaded him to have a little something in the middle of the day, but he always used to go from breakfast through to tea, no lunch, and he used to drive a lot of his entourage up the wall because we'd be on a royal tour and everyone would be famished at about midday or certainly 1 o'clock. It's like, sorry, no lunch till 4.
I tell you who did have lunch yesterday was Queen Camilla and the First Lady.
Oh,
because
nice.
what they did was they ensured that those who did want to eat lunch could eat lunch. So the King had the private meeting with the President, and Queen Camilla and the First Lady had lunch with the Nigerian suite for those that did.
And she's patron of that charity called The Big Lunch.
So it's a very happy medium.
Neat. What did they have?
Oh, I can't tell you what they have for lunch because that's always private, but I know a lot about what they have for dinner.
Okay, yes, well, that's what we're going to go on to because you watched the state banquet and the ceremonial welcome unfold firsthand at Windsor Castle, as you always do. So what was the atmosphere like?
Oh, it was a gorgeous day. It was the hottest day of the year so far in the UK, and Windsor is just beautiful in the spring. And you can see why Queen Elizabeth loved it so much there, particularly at this time of year.
It is stunning.
It's stunning. The daffodils were out, the sun, the sky was blue, the horses were clip-clopping around the quadrangle. So it was a full ceremonial welcome, so all the bells and whistles. Really sweet moment in the day, actually, and something I hadn't really seen before. You saw the King on several occasions holding hands with the President, so they kind of had he had his hand there and let the President put his hand on, and I asked what had happened, and although the President is 4 years younger than him, he'd had a nasty fall in Turkey last month, and they were a little bit worried about his balance and the uneven pathways. So it was really solicitous. He kind of constantly held out his hand like that and helped him up and down the steps and into the Sovereign's entrance. And yeah, it was a really brilliant day. They went through. They say they didn't have their lunch, but they did do the traditional tour of the royal collection items, and the King was particularly excited about a tiny miniature book that normally in the Queen Mary's doll house that was written by Sir Ben Okri, who was actually at the dinner later. And yeah, then everyone prepared for dinner, and we had our usual little look around the state banqueting table, which looked magnificent. For the rest of this discussion, search Palace Confidential on YouTube.